When was the last time you cleaned the grout on your tile floor or shower? It's probably been a while. Here's some simple tips to get it clean and keep it that way.
Now it's time for Hot for Your House.
When it comes to tile, there is one person I lean on, and that is William White, Ardex Americas. Welcome back to Around the House, my friend.
Eric, good to see you, my friend.
I wanted to talk today because, it's kind of getting into fall, late summer, times are changing. I love it, but people are getting inside the house and looking around going, I got some stuff to do in here. And man, I don't know about you, but if you've got old tile out there, there's so many people looking at that half-inch grout line from 1987 that are going, how do I get this back to the color it was intended to be?
It is important to point out that the grout that we had, 10, 20 years ago is completely different than the grout we have now. The grouts we have now are so much stronger and more stain resistant and more robust. But specifically dealing with, that older grout joint that has maybe a little wider grout, that's probably going to be a little bit more of a basic grout that may take a little bit of elbow grease just to get it cleaned up,
Yeah, because I tell you what, I think everybody's had that house where you pull out the dishwasher in the kitchen and you go, that grout is a completely different color than I thought it was.
Totally. And that's a good time to go, all right, we might have to do a little bit of grout maintenance here. So, basically your grout maintenance, your daily maintenance is just sweeping and vacuuming or having the little Roomba run around and just pick up that daily dirt and debris that, the dogs and we carry in on our shoes.
Yeah.
As you're talking about getting in and doing a deeper cleanse, a lot of times, we're really going to have to use, our daily cleaning. We can damp sponge with something that's a neutral pH. But when we get into that deeper cleaning, we may have to use something that's a little more acidic, just slightly acidic. And what that'll do is go in there and deep clean the dirt out of there. Now, it is important sometimes to understand as we get into treating actual stains, that stains can either be organic or inorganic. And depending on where those stains originated from, we may actually have to use a little bit of base to attack them slightly different than an acidic does. But generally speaking, you can go to your, home improvement center. You can get something that is a heavy duty grout and haze cleaner. That's going to be something that's slightly acidic. Now you are going to have to scrub with that. You are going to have to put a little elbow grease in it. This isn't something that you can just mop on and magically it's going to scrub the dirt off the grout for you. I'm sure we have some guys that are probably working on self-cleaning grout, but that's not a thing yet. So
not yet.
You are going to have to take like a stiff bristle brush. It's going to take a Saturday morning and you're just going to have to get down there and do some scrubbing to release that dirt from the grout joint and then do a damp mop over top of it. And the most important part of that entire process is going to be getting a sealer back on there, right? Because those older grouts don't have that fortification built in them, which is why it got so dirty in the first place. We are going to have to put some sealer back on there.
Got it. That makes sense. And what do you think about people that, you see commercials of companies coming in and they got the steam cleaner and the gloves and they're going crazy? Is that a viable option or is there some risk to doing that?
So our company really doesn't encourage the use of heavy duty commercial steam. Now the shark steamer that somebody has at home, that's pretty effective. And it's not quite to the same extent that a commercial steamer would be. The nice thing that I do see is a lot of times those commercial companies, and depending on how much tile you have, if you have, a couple 100 square feet, that's one thing. You have a couple 1,000 square feet. It might be worth hiring a professional for something like that. But a lot of times those professionals do have auto scrubbers that are going to scrub that surface of the natural stone tile and grout.
Let's say you get it all cleaned up, right? You get your cleaners, you're scrubbing away, everything's looking gorgeous. And then you walk down and you go into the home center and you see that there's a $7 sealer there, but then you go into your professional tile store and there's a $70 sealer there and you're going, what am I doing?
100% you get what you pay for with sealer. I cannot preach that enough, that you know it's all about the solids that are in it, the actual protection in it. You get what you pay for. If you pay $7, $10 for something, and you pay, you know, $50 or $70 for something, you're getting a better quality product. There's actually more protection in it. And understanding that, sealing, it used to be that everything was solvent based. It was a stinky mess. You'd have to do it with doors and windows open.
Also brought a gas can in the house, right?
Totally. And like cross ventilation with some fans going on it. Nowadays, almost all of our sealers are actually waterborne sealers. And we've found that the waterborne sealers can actually penetrate deeper into natural stone and deeper into the grout and provide, as good of, or if not even better protection than some of the older solvent-based sealers would.
That makes sense, because that's what water is, what got that there to begin with, right?
100%. It's water, whether it's, right around the dog bowl or just walking in from the yard and having a little bit of, moisture from the grass, or as we start heading into our rainy season. Most of the time, our stains and contaminants are carried in by water. So if we can block that water from going into the grout joint, we're going to block it from staining and actually getting into the grout itself. Which leads me to a good point. How do you tell if your grout is sealed or not? Right? I mean, because maybe you just bought the house. You don't know.
Yeah,
pretty easy.
No one knows.
Just take your water bottle, pour some water on like a 1-inch strip of grout, watch it for about a minute, wipe that water away. And if you have a dark spot, that means you're not protected. That means water's able to penetrate down in there. Probably time to look at some sealing, whether you're doing it yourself or hiring a company to do it for you. Definitely time to consider some maintenance there.
So really, if every year you're going down there and taking a peek at it and pouring some water and testing it out, that's really going to be your best bet, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And it also allows you just to look at the grout and say, how's it holding up? Do I have any cracked tiles? Which is why it's always a good idea to have a couple extra tiles saved. And it gives you a chance to look over that entire installation. Maybe there's some caulking that needs to be cut out and replaced, because caulking, again, there's another maintenance thing that, it's not permanent and forever. You might have to replace that too. And we see that more like in showers, where the caulking might need to be replaced.
Yeah.
And I always encourage people to use only 100% silicone. It does come color matched in all the colors of all the grouts out there. But using a color matched caulking silicone is the only way to go. You don't really want that acrylic stuff in your installation.
William, thanks for coming on today, brother. Where's the best place for people to find you guys for all your components out there?
So Ardex Americas is our website, and we have all of our, you can locate a rep on there. You can locate a distributor. You can even call into our technical services, and we have a really excellent technical services department that is more than happy to answer any questions that people may have.
Thanks for coming on today, my friend. Can't wait till next time.
Eric, always good to see you, brother. Take care.